Shalom. This is Rob Vanhoff with TelosTorah, and I'm going to look at a section from Genesis 39 for this week's Torah portion, which is Vayyeshev, Genesis 37 through 40. I want to look at the Hebrew text here of a section describing God's blessing of Joseph while he's in prison. And we can just look at the words here and learn from it. So 39:2, it says, Vayhi Adonai et Yosef. Here we see the et not as the definite direct object marker, but as with, the preposition with. Vayhi Adonai et Yosef, and the Lord was with Joseph. Vayhi ish matzliach, and he was a successful man. An ish matzliach, tzalach, that's tzadi lamed chet. This is a verb used in Psalm 1, where it says, Kol asher ya'aseh yatzliach. Everything he does prospers. I'm reminded of that here, Psalm 1, when it talks about a tree bearing fruit. That is, shatul al pagei hamayim. It is transplanted by streams of water. That is the relationship with the living God. That is nourishment by the words of God's Torah and meditation on it day and night. Vayhi ish matzliach. He was a ish matzliach, a successful man. And matzliach, as a hifil, could also mean that he helped others be successful. He brought success to others. I think it could mean both those are true. He helped others be successful. So it's not just, Joseph wasn't just the only good fruit. Those whom Joseph served, those whom Joseph worked with, those whom Joseph helped, were also successful. And that's what we see here. Vayhi bevet Adonav ha-Mitzri. And he was in the house of his Lord, the Egyptian. So becoming put into the house itself, not just out in the field or any domain of labor, but in the Beit Adonav, the house of his Lord. Verse 3, Vayar Adonav ki Adonaito. His Lord saw that the Lord, Adonai, is with him. I love this. This is the Sermon on the Mount where Yeshua says, let your light shine so that people will see you and they'll glorify your Father who is in heaven. In other words, the Egyptian master here sees that Joseph's success and the success that Joseph is bringing to his household comes not from Joseph, but from Joseph's God. And what does that mean? He sees Joseph as a shining lamp. Joseph is a shining lamp in the house of his Egyptian master. And it says, Vayar Adonav, he saw that the Lord was with him. That's the light of the Lord. V'kol asher hu oseh, Adonai matzliach biyado. And everything that he does, it says did, but everything Joseph does, the Lord causes to be successful in his hand. So here we have matzliach clearly in the causative. So we had it here. He was in Vayhi ish matzliach, a man giving success, a man bringing success, a man making things successful, making things flourish. That's what we see here. V'kol asher hu oseh, Adonai matzliach beyado. He makes it successful in his hand. Again, Psalm 1, Kol asher ya'aseh, right? Everything he does, yatzliach. It makes successful. He is successful. Beyado, in hand of him, in his hand. Verse 4, Vayimtza Yosef chen be'enav, and Joseph found grace, chen, in his eyes. Vaysharet oto, and he served him. Vaysharet oto, and he served him. Who served whom? Did the master serve the servant? No. Joseph served his master. That's what Vaysharet Oto. Vayafkidehu, and he appointed him. So we have a lot of pronouns here. He served him, and he appointed him over al beito, over all his house. The attentive reader needs to make sure we're identifying the antecedents for these pronouns properly. Vaysharet Oto, that means, and Joseph served his master. Vayafkidehu al beito, that means he, the master, appointed him, that is Joseph, al beito, over his house. V'kol asher yeshlo natan beyado, and kol asher yeshlo, everything he has, natan beyado, he put into his hand, or he gave into his hand. Again, this is describing what, in detail, what this hifkid means, that he appointed him over his house. That means everything that was his, he put into Joseph's hands, the Egyptian master did. Verse 5, Vayhi me'az hifkidoto beveto ve'al kol asher yeshlo. So that's a long, what we call it, this is a relative clause or a temporal clause, and it was me'az, from when, me'az hifkid oto beveto ve'al kol asher yeshlo, from the time that he appointed him, that is, from the time that the Egyptian master appointed Joseph in his house and over kol asher yeshlo, all his, everything he owns, all his belongings. Then we have the main verb, Vayvarech Adonai et Beit HaMitzri. The Lord blessed, that is, Adonai blessed the house of the Egyptian. The Lord blessed the house of the Egyptian. And then it says, Biglal Yosef, because of Joseph, for the sake of Joseph. So this shows the light of the lamp, right? Yeshua says you put the light, you don't light the lamp and then put it under a bushel or under the bed and cover it. No, you put it on a lampstand, and it gives light to all who are in the house. This is what's happening with Joseph. The Lord blesses the whole house with light. The whole house is blessed with light that the Lord is shining through his servant Joseph. Vayhi birkat Adonai b'kol asher yeshlo b'bayit u'vasadeh. So this is wonderful because it was, that is, the birkat Adonai, the blessing of the Lord. The blessing of the Lord was b'chol asher yeshlo, with everything that the Egyptian master owned. Was blessed, was the blessing of the Lord was in those things. Babayit, in the house, vasadeh, and in the field. Isn't that wonderful? This Egyptian master was enjoying, was a beneficiary of, was receiving a blessing from the God of Israel through Joseph's presence. Joseph was a source of true light, true joy, a humble heart, a light not just into the house, but even into the field. So babayit uvasadeh, in the house and in the field. It just is comprehensive. It just means everywhere. It means there was no place in the domain of this Egyptian master where Joseph's light did not shine. Which again, is the Lord's light. So we see blessing. Just one more time on verse 5. Vayhi me'az hifkid oto beveto ve'al kol asher yeshlo. Again, that's one extended temporal clause. And it was starting with when he appointed him in his house and over everything that belonged to him, comma, Vayvarek Adonai et Beit HaMitzri Biglal Yosef. The Lord, from that time on, the Lord blessed the house of the Egyptian because of Joseph. Vayhi Birkat Adonai. And the blessing of the Lord was Bechol Asher Yeshlo, in everything he owned, Babayet Uvasadeh, in the house and in the field. I love this passage. We're to be lights in this world. We're not of this world, but we are in this world. And here is an example of Yosef being in the world, but he's not of the world. The success that Joseph is bringing, that will hit the works of his own hands being successful, the success that he's bringing to others through encouragement, through instruction, through kindness, through love, through patience, through sincerity of service, through investment in other people's genuine well-being. All these things. These are coming from Joseph, but they are godliness. They reflect Joseph's love of God. This is logical behavior for Joseph. Why is it logical behavior? Because of his love for God. It is coherent with his love for God. This is what Paul says when he says that we offer ourselves as a living sacrifice to God. That whatever we do unto the Lord. We're not just trying to give people lip service. When Joseph is being successful and he's bringing success to his Egyptian master's house, that's real success that other people, even though they don't worship the God of Israel, they're benefiting. They benefit and they see good fruit. That's why it says, verse 3, Vayar Adonai ki Adonai ito. So he saw that Joseph's God was with him. He didn't just think Joseph was great. He understood also that Joseph's faith, that Joseph has a core conviction and integrity and a principled view and trustworthiness, and that was true and genuine. This is how the people of God are to be in the world. They're not of the world, because success comes from the Lord. He's the one who gives success. So this picture here from Genesis 39, 2 through 5, is a perfect picture from the Torah of the teaching that Yeshua gives us of why you light a lamp and put it up so it can fill the house with light. That's what this is about. And that it's God's light. It's God's light. All right, my friends, a big Shabbat Shalom to you all. Bye-bye.